what government building should I infiltrate and demolish?
What could I learn here before I become radicalized? I mean, I'm going to work here for about 20 years, and then I'll slowly become radicalized online, and then I'll know all the exits.
Right. Yeah, they're like, oh, what's my 30-year plan? So I'm going to work here for about 10 to 15 years, and then I'm going to be on the news one day. And then I'll spend the rest of my life, in various maximum security prisons around the country.
The morning he does it, he's watching SpongeBob. Like, today's the big day, Gary. He's like, you're damn right it is, SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Tightens his bow tie.
God,
straight to the fan.
I wish the news still mattered because there's so many psychos that end up journalism and mass communication majors at universities. Mm-hmm. They're fucking losers. Anybody who's a JMC major, and I was one of them, they're huge losers.
What's a JMC?
Journalism, mass communication, stuff like that. I don't know, whatever it is at your school.
It's guys who in the 60s would have been able to just get a job where they're banging away at a typewriter and they buy a house from that.
Where the cigarettes it's not touching their lips, but they're smoking it.
Yeah.
And while they're just ticking and tacking away at a thing.
But now, the highest form of that is, you get a job at Wired writing about how, sex robots are cool.
Yeah. And there's also people I knew who were journalism majors who really wanted to work at, a news station and be a newsman.
Right.
Yeah.
There was guys that would show up, they would drink a Mountain Dew Kickstart at 8. You know what a Mountain Dew Kickstart is?
Yes, I used to like them,
400 milligrams of caffeine, 86 grams of sugar. You're blending up a Fruity Pebbles cereal box with the cardboard.
You might as well smoke crack.
Yeah.
It's liquid cocaine.
Yeah.
This guy would walk in who was wearing an XL t-shirt that looked like a crop top, gut just hanging out.
Sure.
Fucking, it's a Family Guy shirt. Hair looks like, you know how cartoons, when people draw them with messy hair?
Yeah.
And it's just like Bart Simpson.
It's just a squiggle.
He had a squiggle haircut.
Yeah, right.
It was all fucked up, and his glasses he always just slept on his glasses because he was reading like Harry Potter fan fiction or something, like erotic fan fiction.
Yeah.
Right.
He was so fat his glasses bent.
Yeah, his glasses bent like asymmetrically. He would drink a Kickstart and fall asleep in the front row by 8:05.
Right.
After drinking an entire Kickstart, just fall asleep. Family Guy shirt. I keep up with this guy. He says the most retarded shit possible. He has like a sports podcast.
He used to drink the Kickstart, then go to fall asleep.
Then fall asleep.
So he drank the Kickstart so his heart doesn't stop while sleeping. It was probably recommended by a doctor. You'll die in your sleep if your heart isn't.
This is just for his blood to
You
keep
need to
moving.
nuke your heart before bed.
If you want to sleep horizontally, it's got to be a Kickstart. He's like the Elephant Man. If he goes horizontal, his skull crushes itself.
This motherfucker would be in the front row snoring. Snoring.
Yeah, and it's a guy who's like, my job is to run the cameras at the Channel 5 News.
Snoring during journalism class?
Yes, and then the women that are in journalism classes, they're all hot, but very psychotic.
Yeah.
They're crazy people.
Right.
There was this one girl someone shared in the private Lemon Party Discord, which I didn't know about, who in the early 80s, she was rapidly approaching 30, and her doctor told her that her eggs, she had a couple more months left to get pregnant, or she had some weird
her pussy
ovarian.
was all fucked up.
Yeah, the doctor told her pussy was...
Pussy was retarded.
It was an 80s doctor.
He just whacked it with his hand.
Smoking a cigarette, he goes, your pussy smells retarded. It's all fucked up.
Just a doctor eating soup out of a bowl.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. Smoking a
He
cigarette.
puts a cigarette in her pussy and lights it. There you go.
And she went on the news as the journalism lady, who everybody said off. She had one of those things where she was super in love with someone at her work, and it was an unrequited love situation, obviously, because this woman's insane.
It's a walking Kathy cartoon, this lady.
Oh, an awful, not a bad-looking gal, but she's the kind of lady that goes on a date once every 4 years, and all she talks about on the date is how she hasn't been on a date in 4 years. So it's weird. She just talks about how there's cobwebs inside of her.
She goes on the date and she goes, well, the clock's ticking, so I gotta have kids.
Hope if you stick it in, a spider doesn't bite your thing. Just making jokes like that, you know? Anyway, she pulled out a gun live on the air and she shot herself in the back of the head and died.
Yeah.
In like 1982.
No, I remember about this lady.
Wow.
Yeah. They made a movie about her.
In Florida, yeah, and they made a movie about her. Yeah.
She got on, she went real Joker style. If I remember right, she goes, and now, this is like Janet O'Leary or whatever her name was, and she goes, and now for the latest in blood and gore on the nightly news, I present to you like my suicide. And she blew her fucking brains out.
It's nice to see a woman have some followers.
No, it's admirable.
That's crazy. That's Bud Dwyer. I thought Bud Dwyer started that whole shit.
No, if the news still mattered, though, those people would be every day that we'd have a new person killing them. The weatherman would just pull out like a shotgun.
Right.
Like it would just be like a Full Metal Jacket every day on the news.
Yeah.
You'd be watching the news to watch someone kill themselves every day.
Yeah.
But no, like 10,000 people tune in now, so it doesn't even matter anymore.
Right.
You know, now it's just...
So they're not stressed out about like what they're a part of anymore? Or
Well, no, it's just that the news used to be a platform.
Bigger, just because of the state of the country, everybody would be killing themselves. They'd get jobs at the news station to blow their brains out.
I'm saying you're a freak if you work at a news station.
Yes.
You're a weird freak.
Oh, they all just fuck each other and shit. Now it's
incestual.
You basically, like when you like pull into, you're on a road trip, you go to a Motel 6, you turn on the local news, you just get sexual fantasies with everybody. You're like, all right, Johnny Mountains, fucking Lisa Raines.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like
they have porn names.
They all have porn names.
Yeah, Stormy Shadows.
Yeah, Lusty McTitty is doing the news with, you know.
No, they're all getting sucked off like under the desk. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's really weird.
It's
they're all
hot.
on drugs.
Yeah, I think it's hot.
It's kind of hot. I love
To work in a news station?
I think news stations are really like sexy.
The thing is, if you look up like salaries for like journalists and stuff and people that work at news stations, it still says like median salary is like $28,000 somehow. Like they won't bump it up because no one. It's not a needed thing
it's
at all.
$28,000. You have to wake up at 1 a.m. in the morning.
It's the worst.
It's like, would you like to destroy your life to make no money?
No, it's like you're making a person to become to assassinate the president. You make them a journalism major to go work at a news station.
Yeah. Every news person is just like a failed Manchurian candidate.
Yeah. They flunked out of the.
Yeah.
They tried to MK them in high school.
The CIA was like, beat it, loser. Get out of here. Go do the news in Omaha.
Why don't you read the traffic in Lincoln, Nebraska? Traffic report this morning.
Wow.
There's no cars because where I live sucks and I should kill myself.
Do you know how many weathermen probably have like a beeping vest on under their suit? They just got their hand in their pocket. They're like, it's 86 degrees today, and they're just fiddling with that little red Joker button. Like,
they're like, could be a lot of thunder and lightning soon. If I have my way.
Free Palestine.
I guarantee you, every person that works at a news station is a huge fan of the Joker. The new one.
Oh yeah.
Joker 1.
Joker 1 was loved by normies.
Yeah.
Like so many, like there were so many like NFL players and like just everybody was on Twitter just like, whoa, I kind of want to kill people.
Yeah, because they did they mythologized it as like incels, like the movie, but it's like guys who do like CrossFit.
Yeah.
And shit like Navy SEALs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Liver King loved Joker. You know.
Jocko Willink changes his name to Joker Willink.
Yeah, he's like, I wake up at 4:30 every day to post.
He's doing reps of logging in.
Yeah, logging. It's like 4:30 a.m. in the computer room looking at pictures of Pepes, making new Pepes.
I saw one of those fucking
Pepe.
retards, the Muscle Beach retards, that just sit in front of, like they don't really have podcasts. They just put out clips of a fake,
of them doing a fake podcast. It's like
Yeah.
a microphone that's not plugged in.
Yeah, the audio's coming in through the camera.
It's a guy with fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger head just going like, if you don't wake up and eat broccoli at 6 a.m., and I've said this to people many times, you should blow your fucking brains out because you're a worthless piece of shit. I hope you die. I hope your kids get raped. Fuck you. Fuck your life. Just completely aggro and mean
And it
for
just
no
cuts
reason.
to Patrick David Bett, just like with his hands together, nodding.
He goes, but how are people supposed to afford glaciers to bathe in?
Yeah, and they're always playing like the XX song that's like boom down down, boom boom.
God, it's a whole
I'm gonna
industry.
make food.
It's a million.
I saw one of those retarded clips where he goes, Let me break it down in 60 seconds. How I turn a normal 18-hour day into 3 days. Here's how I do it. First of all, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's day one. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's day two. And then he goes 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Guess what? That's day 3.
It's a guy who has to badass math.
Like, that's not. I'm like, 24 hours is still a day, no matter what you call it.
A guy who, to do math, he has to go David Goggins mode.
Yeah.
So he's like 6 plus 6. So like, let's say you take 6 hard motherfucker seals. 6 inner bitches plus 6 hardcore motherfucker seals equals 12 badass motherfuckers.
And if you're not drinking, fuck you, water.
The only water made with piss.
You gotta hydrate.
Hydrate, pussy. Fuck you.
I think if I remember correctly, he goes, like he goes, so basically think of it this way. After 1 day, I got 2 days on you. After 2 days, I got 4 days on you. He goes, after a week, I have 21 days in, and you only have 7. He goes, by a month, he goes, game over.
Yeah, he's
by a year, he goes, you forget it.
He's so retarded, he thinks he's actually changing time.
Yeah. And then the comments are like, get it in, brother.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing like the muscle.
Yeah, the muscle.
Guys get it. It's like top salesman at Pfizer, top salesman at like Toyota.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
He's just saying
Nothing.
You can't say you can't say a day is 6 hours, therefore you've accomplished more.
It's for people who were too retarded to realize that life just sucks.
Yeah, it really. So they can't just process that it sucks.
They can't process that life sucks. So they're like, if I just become more of a badass, I'll like figure out the big hole that exists in my soul. And it's like, that's just part of being a person.
This will morph into them just like promoting killing yourself so you can get a head start on the afterlife. So like, I'm already in the afterlife.
Also,
I'm doing push-ups with God.
I'm doing push-ups with God. What are you doing?
You're too much of a pussy to blow your fucking brains out.
Me and Jesus are weight training. God, I hate all these people.
I know. I would love a version of that guy who's just about being a massive loser, but with that same mentality.
Joker willing.
He's like, he's like, I wake up at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. to 12, that's jack-off time. I'm out of bed 6 a.m. looking at pornography on my phone. Jacking off, gooning until I can't even come anymore. Fucking making my dick rock. 12 p.m. to 6, Old Town Buffet. I'm eating all types of retarded, fucked up shit.
6 to 10, that's my Baja Blast time.
10 a.m. to midnight, I harass women online. I DM Instagram models asking why won't they fuck me, and then I tell them to go kill themselves when they don't respond.
Fuck no, I didn't serve my country. I dodged the fucking draft. Fuck that shit.
I dodged the draft, dude. I love war. I'm a fucking pussy though. But I'm all in favor of killing brown people.
Yeah. He's like a Nambla guy.